Hey, Matt.
Hey.
I'll be honest, I didn't really watch that much wrestling this week. I watched Dynamite and I watched part of the brilliance of what was the name of that? Oh, WrestleMania Backlash. I watched that. I ended my time watching it after The Miz got taken away by zombies. And I was like, I'll come back and watch it. But then I'm like, they feel like I don't need to watch anymore.
Yeah, well, what sucks is that the stopping at the zombies means that you got to just before there was actually decent stuff on the pay-per-view. Because the only two parts of that show that were any good were the two heavyweight championship matches. The Bobby Lashley win over Strowman and McIntyre. It was a really well booked match. They all looked great. I hate that Strowman had to eat another pin because it's a little disappointing at this point. But then Cesaro put on a show, but of course the head of the table kept his title. It looks like we are not getting another Cesaro match because bumping up Hell in a Cell means we are on the uber fast track to getting the other Uso inside the cage.
Yep. I do actually want to watch that Cesaro match. That's actually true. Like, I want to see that. I just got it's been a week. I'll just say that. But yeah, actually I did. I know everyone's saying like wrestling is peaked, but like as someone who's watched GCW's Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan, Jervis Cotton Belly versus the Man Scout Manning, where there was a bear that came out, a guy in a bear costume. There's room for zombie stuff, sure. And I mean, The Undertaker is somewhat a zombie, maybe, who knows? So I was fine with it, actually. The worst part about it is, I guess The Miz might have tore his ACL, and that would be a terrible way to go out for a few months, maybe a year.
Yeah, I think really the worst part about it is if you're going to have them eaten by zombies, at least have them off TV for long enough for us to forget it happened. Don't put Morrison in a match the next night on Raw. It's weird.
But it is also kind of an extension of Vince McMahon's, like, they're superheroes, and then like they don't sell injuries. They don't sell injuries unless it's a real actual injury. They don't sell it on WWE programming. And actually, that was one of my big problems with the Blood and Guts match is Jericho. And now his arm is in a cast type situation because I guess he did actually like bust up his elbow, but he shouldn't have been on the next Dynamite.
No, not in the slightest. I mean, they do that a lot here lately.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, and then wrestling is dead. If you want to be that bitter about things, fine. But I mean, if you get to the point where you're not going to watch it, you're going to miss truly amazing things like the Serena Deeb and Red Velvet match from Dynamite this week. That is one of the better matches I've seen in, I don't know, a month and a half or better.
Yeah.
So it's wrestling. There's always going to be some truly ridiculous shit. But like you said, I mean, you can't truly, and MVP said it, you can't truly hate the zombies and love the Undertaker. I mean, as Ron Funches pointed out, Jake the Snake, his snake doesn't work on the Undertaker because he's got no blood. I mean, we've cheered for Sergeant Slaughter, who was just like a grotesquely overweight guy that could not have passed the military entrance exam. Like, I mean, it's wrestling. What? I didn't like the zombies, but mostly because of, like I said, Morrison was on Raw the next night. So it threw everything out. The biggest issue with that match was crowd noise. Why do you still have crowd noise when you've turned the fucking TVs off? I mean, you should have had just like there should have been nothing. I mean, you should have had like white noise and zombie groans and wrestling. That should
Yeah.
have been it. Um, but yeah, that was the only thing that was really wrong with it. Like, it's a
Yeah.
fucking lumberjack match. I mean, no, we didn't get to see, and I don't know if you saw any of Raw, but
No.
oh, what the hell is her name? The crazy little Irish one, Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Nikki Cross was a lumberjack in the Morrison and Damian Priest follow-up match the next night on Raw, and she was just so happy to be out there. And she was like, she threw Morrison back in the ring and like jumped up and down like she had done the greatest thing ever. Like, we didn't get fun moments like that out of zombies, but I mean, it is what it is. Lumberjacks don't do a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah. Apparently one of those lumberjacks, it turns out, was Scotty Too Hottie for some reason. That would have been more interesting if he was dressed as a zombie version of Scotty Too Hottie.
Oh yeah. I mean, that could have been a cool way to do it. Have zombie versions of legends like appear. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of a missed opportunity if you've already got Scotty out there.
Could have had Diesel and fake Diesel zombies.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not like the locker room area isn't just a bunch of old timers walking around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, outside of that, there hasn't been a ton this week in wrestling. There were no surprises at at either one of the pay-per-views. I haven't even really watched Impact in a couple of years. And 6 weeks ago, I called Moose being the challenger, like as soon as he turned up. So there wasn't a whole lot of surprise on Impact. The only title changing hands on WrestleMania Backlash was the women's tag belt, which I actually, they found a way to finally tell that been plugging away for 14 years story and not make it just a woe is me kind of thing. I mean, I feel like Natalya and Tamina really had to work their ass off on social media to build themselves up to get this spot. So I felt good about that one. Plus anything to get a belt and TV time away from Nia Jax, I'm cool with. Let's see. Tyler Bate won whatever the hell that big cup is with the weird match rules where
the Pure Championship or something on Ring of Honor?
No, the big
Heritage I don't even know anymore. Heritage Cup, okay.
Yeah, where all the matches are like best of 5 falls or something.
Yeah.
Most falls in 10 minutes, whatever the hell that crap. I can't follow it. But let's see. NXT, we had a title change. Johnny Gargano is no longer North American champion. He lost the steel cage match against Bronson Reed, who is your new champ. It was, the bar for cage matches in NXT was pretty well solidified with Joe and Finn Balor several years ago. So it didn't necessarily get there, but it was a pretty good one. Austin Theory did some great heel shit on the outside, kept slamming the cage door on Bronson Reed. He serves a wonderful purpose. I can't speak highly enough about that guy. Like he's been the unsung hero of NXT for a little while now. Next week we are getting the Karrion Kross rematch with Finn Balor, which should help with their ratings a little bit. They tend to tank ratings wise when Balor's not going to be on the card. So,
well, it's all going to tank for both shows probably for the near term, just because of the NBA playoffs happening here starting next week. So, it happens every year, but apparently it's definitely going to. People seem to be really excited about this year's NBA playoffs, which enjoy it if you do.
Yeah. I think Dynamite moving to Friday may help, since I don't think they've got any basketball competition on Friday, and they'll have 3 days worth of TNT coverage to kind of plug away at the please watch this fucking episode of Dynamite.
But it is going to be late though. It's like 10 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, so they're going on after a basketball game.
I think so.
That one probably won't start till like 10:30, 10:45.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll listen to that one in the car while I'm on my way to Jacksonville, because the dark match is headed to Double or Nothing.
Yeah, that's actually the biggest news of this week. Beyond the Velveteen Dream no longer being employed at WWE, as well as Drake Wirtz. So goodbye, both of those guys. So
I wasn't going to give either one of them the shout on the like that Drake Wirtz. What a fucking tool bag.
yeah,
And Velveteen, that was just some. I'm still, the biggest shocker is that he didn't get cut during the other two mass releases.
yeah,
I don't understand.
It's pretty weird. Unless there was some weird contractual thing that he was able to negotiate in his contract that was keeping them from like just letting him go earlier. So that could be. Maybe he was actually good. Yeah, maybe he was actually good at negotiating contracts, even though he was super young. So I don't know. But yeah, going to Jacksonville, Florida, where we're gonna brave that crowd, and we're gonna do it. But we got some pretty great seats. We don't have anyone in front of us, so we only have to deal with everybody behind us. So we're not in the front row. We're just in the upper section.
Yeah, no, the dark match doesn't roll that heavy. We are definitely in the that club level, the same seats I had for Blood and Guts. So,
which, if you go back and look at the episode art from that episode, I think 2 episodes ago, that's actually the exact same seats we're going to have. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it should be good. It's starting to look like the longest card in wrestling history.
Yeah.
There's 117 matches on this. Every member of the All Elite roster is getting a match.
Remember that Ring of Honor super card in New Orleans?
I didn't think that show was ever going to end.
I think they're trying to beat that length of a show. They're trying to beat Mania. So,
and it's always one of those where like there's either the opening match is so good that like halfway into the show you're exhausted and don't care anymore, or like that match in the middle is so good that nothing that comes after it can like eclipse it. Either way, these long ass cards never go well for the end of the show for me. To the point where I've had to go back and rewatch certain pay-per-view events and stuff. Like I had to go back and rewatch the main event from WrestleMania this year, just because I was, they exhausted me with whatever the hell that Fiend stuff was to open the show, and now best wishes to Bray Wyatt on all the things he's dealing with mentally. I know losing John Huber took a toll on him, so hope he's doing okay. But I also hope that they find a way to like explain that in a not truly disappointing way when he gets back.
Yeah. It makes sense. I just wish they could have done it a little bit better, writing him off. And if he was really having a hard time after he was just, I wish we'd just kept it with Randy Orton burned him alive and that was it. Really honestly at that point, and just leave it at that.
I think they tried to force it, and he did that one match, and what it really did was all the Alexa Bliss stuff since then has been a little stale. Like, when they really should have found some other way to, I don't know. Or if it's just going to be the Fiend for a while, just put somebody else in the outfit. I mean, you've basically released everybody that's got his body type, but have Kevin Owens fill in. Like, it's fine. He can hit a Sister Abigail. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But
he'll just do a stunner instead, whatever.
It's the same thing. It doesn't matter.
Well, next week we'll do a little bit of a kind of a preview of that. We'll touch on NXT, and then we'll do a little preview because we probably won't even touch Dynamite because it'll be so late in the week. And I'm traveling. I'll be on 6 planes in the next 8 days, so I'll be doing a lot. So, last thing, my boy Jake Atlas was in the ring with Cam and Grimes and actually picked up a win because
Because of that damn Ted DiBiase!
Which, so the whole trope of someone's music plays and they come out to the top of the ramp thing, I hate it with everyone else except for Cameron Grimes. I buy it with him. He sells that so well. I get that he cannot handle doing anything else the moment that music hits or the moment Ted DiBiase comes out. Like, everyone else is like, come on, man, you could finish a match like when someone's music plays. Like, go on, whatever. So, but not with Ted DiBiase, not with Cameron Grimes. It's a delight. And
Takes everything he does just straight to the moon.
And I'm not gonna complain that Jake Atlas gets a win there as well while we're at it. So he's not getting enough TV time to begin with. So let's do it.
He does wrestle a good bit on 205 Live, but the last few times I've seen him, I don't think he's won. So it's I don't know what they're doing with him. He's one of those that might have been better off if they let him go, and he could have gone back to doing various independent promotions or signed on with Ring of Honor since they're starting to kick back up.
I think he needs to go to, WWE is his dream. He's one of those people that needed to go there at least to like try it out. And apparently he was on Undercover Boss with Stephanie McMahon. And he was like, I want to be the first, like, openly gay, like WWE champion and stuff like that. Like world champion, not just like US champion or something like that. And I think he wants to follow that through, but I feel like he might have to go other places to really build his stock up to make it back to WWE to really make it out there. I think he needs to be like, he needs to go somewhere else and be like, oh man, we got to have him on WWE. Like, he's tearing it up. So I don't think he's there yet, but he's also pretty young. So he's got a lot of time ahead of him.
Well, I think they do. They've taken away a lot of what kind of made him stand out in the indies. Now, like he doesn't have any of his glitter or his rainbows, and he doesn't get any promo time.
Yeah.
So he hasn't had a chance to like actually build a character, but if they give him some screen time, he will.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good dude. Hopes good things happen for him. And meanwhile, Cameron Grimes, when he wrestled his last indie date at PWG, it might not have been his last indie date, but the last time I saw him, and he was like, gave a farewell speech. Like, they're probably going to fire me, and I'll be right back here like 3 months from now, but I got to go try it out. So yeah.
It looks like he's making the best of it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a long career ahead of him, at least in NXT for a while. We'll see if Vince can buy him in the main roster, but I think he'll definitely get there. I hope he succeeds there too. He goes to the moon. All right. We'll catch you next week.